Today, I'm excited to welcome back a repeat guest in 2025. She's a recent world number one in women's doubles, a multiple Grand Slam champion, including most recently at the US Open. Erin Routliffe, welcome back, and thanks again for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
I feel like every time we talk, you've done yet another great thing to add to your impressive tennis resume. So let's start with the recent win in New York. And so, congratulations, and maybe walk us through what was it like the second time to hoist that trophy with Gaby Dabrowski?
Yeah, it was pretty epic. Everyone's asking like if I can compare like the first one to the second, and it's really hard because there's so many different feelings, but ultimately you're just so happy and excited, and it was nice. Again, we had a lot of family and friends there to celebrate with, which is lucky that, you know, it's been in New York twice for us. Yeah, no, hard to describe in words, but we were pretty happy. And, we've had before, I guess, Cincinnati, it's been like a little bit of a rough year from us. So I'm happy that we, stayed, you know, trusted the process, trusted each other, and, it worked out. So we still have and obviously still have lots of tennis left to play.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting how things can swing in a doubles partnership as well, I guess, as the season moves on. We see some teams that don't last very long together and others that, fewer, I guess, that stand the test of time. But you guys have accomplished so much now in the past, what, 3 years has it been, I feel like?
Yeah.
And and even this year, if you describe it as a season that up to this point wasn't going your way, still, I think a season where many doubles players would look at that and say, heck, I'd sign up for that for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think we were just on the losing end of a lot of close matches, and with Gabby's injury, her being out and missing a slam, that was frustrating for the both of us, mostly for her, obviously. But yeah, no, we definitely I feel like we felt like we were building momentum and playing better and better and better, and I think we are, grass and hardcore. Hardcore's probably our best surface, which it's proving to be. So yeah, no, we're happy. And it's always nice to be in a place where you have so many good memories together. New York, that was like our first slam, and every time we go back there, it's so funny. You just remember like the first time, and now we'll remember the second time. So yeah, it's exciting.
So look out next year for the three-peat, I guess. What is it about New York in particular that really jives for you too? Because some players don't like that atmosphere and that pressure and just the noise and the level of intensity that those fans bring. So, have you always felt this way about playing in the Big Apple, or is it more recently due to the success that you guys had in 2023?
Yeah, I think it's hard. New York is so chaotic, and you get there and it's just like everything's going all at once. I feel like you you're so busy, like, you wake up in the morning and you're, like, overstimulated, there's so much going on, and then you get back to your hotel room at night, and it takes you, like, an hour or 2 just to, like, calm down as somebody that's, like, I don't know, I get overly stimulated, like, there's so many people and so much happening, and I have to really prioritize, like, taking that time to really relax. Um, it's funny, I think New York was actually where I had my best slam result, like, 4 or 5 years ago when I played with Layla. We made round of 16. Um so maybe I always liked playing New York. I do like it's chaotic, but I do feel like that is kind of where I thrive. I think that, go, go, go all the time is where I don't know, it's kind of like game time. You got to be really ready and like lock in for that whatever 2 hour, 3 hour match. But yeah, I don't know. I obviously love New York. I love playing there. Good food, nice hotel. There's nothing really bad about it, but I don't think I would live there. Like, I would go there for, like, a weekend trip, like, if I was to be done with tennis. I don't think I would ever live there. It's a little much.
Yeah. I probably feel the same. I love visiting it. I love going for short spurts, but I don't think I could hack an extended stay there either. Um, Want to talk to you about your experience there this year, which was a little different than previous. Normally, you play mixed doubles, and this year, obviously, we had that new format. And I think you and I touched on it a bit when we spoke earlier this season. But
Mhm.
now that it's happened, I mean, it's one thing to have your initial reaction to what's going on and what changes are happening. Now the event has happened. You've seen what it was like, albeit not from, participating in it. And same with Gabby in mixed doubles. Change at all your vibe towards it or your outlook on the decisions they made this year?
Um, no, I think, you know, a lot of people were asking my opinion, and I think it was just hard to give an opinion because it there was no way that I would be in the tournament. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's frustrating to doubles specialists or people that play doubles and have had success in doubles. I think that was the most frustrating thing is we just want an opportunity to showcase our game, our sport. I've always said that doubles is like a completely different sport to singles, even though it's tennis. It's like a puzzle, whereas singles is more, I don't know. I think doubles is a little bit more like playing a game of chess and figuring it out. But when you don't get the chance to kind of show that, I think that's really frustrating. So I think that's the only opinion I've ever had is like just it's fine if singles players and big name singles players want to play. I'm all for that and I would love to play against them. I'd love to play against doubles players, all this stuff. I think it's just how I could have been ranked anyone could have been ranked number 1 in the world and we wouldn't have gotten in. Like Siniakova and Aravello were the 2 number 1 players in the world and they signed up together, which I thought was so baller. I thought that was like the coolest power play ever. And all the doubles players were like rooting for them to get in because she basically was just like, hey, if I'm number 1 in the world and I'm going to sign up with the number 1 doubles player and male doubles player in the world and we can't get in, like too good.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
She's
the
like,
basic problem.
that's honestly too good. And so like that I've showed, she showed with her results, you know what I mean? That like she deserves to be there. And so I think that was really cool. And then obviously ultimately they didn't get in. So that yeah, it's just it's a tough one. It really is. I think but in saying that it obviously did show that doubles there is a market there and people love watching it. I think um it was cool how obviously everyone kind of banded together to cheer for Ronnie Vavasori, which
Me too, I have to say. I was going for the doubles players for sure.
yeah, I think there was a lot of singles players cheering for them as well because they were like, "This is so cool!" Like bringing so many people together that normally would never. Like I would never. I mean, I crossed paths with Vavasori, but I would have never like I don't know, we don't really talk. And I was like messaging, posting on my thing, like, you guys got this, which I think is the coolest thing about sports. So for that event to do that and bring us all together to cheer for a team, I think was pretty epic. I would hope that, maybe it showed that it would be epic for like more matches like that to show like whatever, 2 doubles players against 2 singles players or doubles and a singles playing against each other and show like how cool doubles is. Cause I do think that it is really fun and exciting to watch.
So is there any like reaching out to the doubles players moving forward to re-examine how this works for next year? I mean, I haven't heard anything about confirming if it's going to happen again. It's too far out probably, but I would imagine that you and your, group of doubles players would want to insert yourselves into that conversation and have the opportunity to play in some sort of version of this tournament next year. So do you have a platform to voice those concerns and what would those channels be to raise that?
Um, I don't know. I think through Gabby, she knows a lot more being on player council, and she kind of is the first to know those kinds of things. Um, I actually don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a convo eventually, or maybe there isn't. I think that the problem this year was that they didn't really let the players know or the council know what the changes were and like what was happening, or ask them like what they thought. That was the initial um frustration, I think. So maybe they'll try again and try and change the rules and whatever. But yeah, if someone came to me and asked me my opinion, I would gladly give it. And Gabby's at like we talk about it, her being on council, she's very involved with all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it's early. I think probably happens like next spring or next, I don't know, something like that. We'll see what happens. Obviously it was successful for them. Like we have all this everyone was like, "Oh, but like let doubles players in and have the doubles player and we're all cheering for them." But at the end of the day, they did I think make a lot of money, sell a lot of tickets showing
Right.
all the people play. So it is maybe that's all they wanted. Like I don't know if they really mind who's in the draw really.
As long as they're making some money off of it. What about, in terms of preparing for just the women's doubles draw then? Because pretty much every slam I see you playing mixed and women's doubles. Did this allow you to focus and dial in a little bit more on the women's doubles draw with Gabby? Did you notice a difference in your preparation and whatnot to just playing the one draw?
Yeah, I think I love playing mixed. I think it's awesome. I play with Mike a lot and I think building the partnership with a male player is really cool. But at the end of the mixed and the doubles when it's at the same time, you do really feel exhausted. Like, you know, if you're playing 2 matches a day, if you're playing one of them goes 3 sets or whatever it is, like, that is really tiring, and I think that that's kinda where you see that's, like, the only downside to playing both. You'd think, like I mean, I think most of us are fit enough to be able to do it, but maybe just having the one event to, like, really lock in for and, like, put all your energy in, that does help. Um, as far as, like, prep, it didn't really make a difference. Like, we arrived Saturday, I think, before and didn't play I think we played Thursday, so we had, like, maybe an extra day or so, coming from Monterey, but yeah, no, it was fine. I guess it's a little less court time, but then we ended up got a lot of court time, so
It's hard to argue against it, I guess, in terms of how things played out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Monterey decision, I'm always like my eyebrow always goes up a little bit because I'm like, "Oh, that's so close to the US Open." So, what's the thought process for you and Gabby in terms of wanting to get in those extra matches? I know it turned out to be 2 rounds, but still just to go there to play in Mexico.
Yeah, I think that was our original plan before Cincinnati, like, when we lost early in Montreal, we were like, "Okay, we'll go to Monterey, we need matches, we haven't got that many this year in the last few months." Um, and I guess when we won Cincinnati, we definitely talked about it, but we were kinda just like, "Okay, well, let's stick with the plan that we had," you know? It wasn't a terrible flight to get there, it was just, like, 1 stop, and then it was easy to get back to New York. Um Yeah, I would say probably people were like, "Wait, why would you do that?" And maybe you made a mistake because we, like, lost second round, but we didn't because it all worked out in the end. Everything happens for a reason. I honestly love playing in Mexico. I haven't been to Mexico in a really long time, since, like, Cancun finals, like, 2 years ago. So, I was for it. I didn't feel tired, really. I wasn't when you have that feeling where you're like, "Okay, I'm exhausted. I need some time off. I need some time off tournaments, matches. I don't wanna see, like, tennis people." Like, I think that we're both pretty, aware of when we need that, and we're totally fine voicing that, and trusting each other that we know what we want. And neither of us said it before that. So we were like, "Okay, we'll go." So yeah, it's kind of our thoughts.
Few and far between the times where you don't see tennis players throughout the season, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Hey, I wanna talk a little bit about the world of doubles itself, and at what point did you make the decision that this was gonna be your main pursuit? And was that a tough choice or a difficult one for you to sort of, lean into and commit to?
Yeah, it was difficult, I think, because we train our whole lives playing singles. Like, you start playing tennis. I probably started I don't know, I didn't take it seriously very young, but as soon as I started playing, you played by yourself. When you're playing single, you're training for single. And doubles was always more natural for me. I was better at it, but that's just not really the thing you focus on until whatever, late teens, early 20s, 30s, depending on who you are. Um, I was kinda lucky in the sense of with COVID, it was a natural progression. I had played well, I'm 30 now. I'd played, like, 3 or 4 years both. My doubles ranking was always better, and then, obviously, when I 'cause I, like, took time away from the tour, quit tennis, whatever, however you wanna call it, in 2019, and then when I came back, it was COVID, and then my rankings were so different that the only tournaments that I was getting into was doubles, and I was kinda thinking that I would focus on doubles anyway, so it just made sense. And then struggled for probably, like, a year, year and a half, and then, like, kinda had a little bit of success, and so I was like, "Okay, I'm happy with my decision," and I never really missed it. I really like celebrating with another person. I like touring with another person. It's kinda always been my thing. Like, I played an individual sport, but I've always been a bit of a team player. Like, I
Right.
love the college aspect, the doubles, all that stuff, so it
Well,
does
it's funny you say some people come to doubles in their 20s and their 30s. For me, it's my 40s, and I love playing doubles now, and I didn't really growing up. I like that individual one-on-one, and I never went far in tennis, but just those vibes, and now I love having a partner there next to me, and when I'm struggling, they can crack a joke or something and pick me up and snap me out of my funk that maybe otherwise individually I wouldn't do, and, I mean, not to mention just physically, as you get older, it's nice to have a little less court to cover as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think people now are realizing how cool doubles is, how fun it is to watch, and now that it's a little bit more popular on tour, I think more people are playing it, and it is I mean, they have always said that tennis is a sport for all ages, and especially doubles, so it's awesome.
Agreed, agreed. Did you have any doubles idols growing up? Any doubles specific players that you really kinda looked up to?
I mean, Martina Hingis, obviously, she was also really good at singles, like, incredible, but I used to watch her play doubles, and I would just, like I was obsessed with the way that she would just make everyone look so frustrated. Like, no matter she would just put the ball in she would find the holes, put the ball exactly where she wanted to, and she always looked so calm and just could do kinda whatever she wanted with it, and didn't matter who was beside her, who was in front of her, like, she just did whatever she wanted, so that's definitely one I, like, loved watching.
And how about singles players that you looked up to when you were a kid?
I mean, I still love Ivanovic was always one that I really liked. I thought that the way that she kinda wore her heart on her sleeve, like, you could tell when she was upset, you could tell when she was really happy, you could tell, like, her feelings by her face. Um, I think now we're embracing that a little bit more, but there's still that, you know, people say that you need to hide your emotions and, like, be neutral the whole time and not show the way you're feeling, which I think, is completely and totally false. I think that you should just be true to yourself. I think that all my life I was told to, stop showing so much, like, you can't show your opponent that whatever it is that you're feeling, happy, sad, whatever, and
I
when
was
I
gonna say with you, it's mostly happy, right? So,
on the good days, that's for sure.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I do think even with Anna Samova now, like, I love watching her play, she wears her heart on her sleeve. You can tell what homegirl is thinking at all times, but I do think that's really awesome, and I still sometimes hear commentators being like, "Oh, I just wish she could, like, work on her poker face a little bit more." And I'm like, "No, you don't need a poker face. Just, like, let it out."
And if it was the opposite, they'd find a way to complain about that too. So some people you just can't please. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're big fans here on the podcast, me and my co-host Ben of Anisimova as well. And I think, any player who's been vocal and open about needing to take time away from the sport to prioritize, I think, their own mental health and sharing that it's okay to do that, even at the professional level, even at the top level. I just have so much respect for those players. And then to see them come back and in her case, or someone like Naomi Osaka to see the success that they can have after that break and reset, and for you as well to come back after some time away from the sport that you mentioned in 2019. I mean, kudos to you, and obviously it must be such a rewarding feeling and a validating feeling that you took the right path to get to where you are today.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think any player, and it's now becoming more, a lot of people are doing it, saying, and but it is hard to say. And I think taking that step back, I've always said, is so difficult because you always feel like in tennis that you're missing out on something. You're missing out on a tournament, like a ranking, points, whatever it is. And I think that is really difficult, but ultimately it is part of the process and the journey. And I think everyone's journey is different, So I'm obviously happy I did that. At the time, it felt like the hardest thing in the world, and I'm really happy I did it.
Yeah, right on. One player's journey I want to mention just briefly, and she played doubles at the U.S. Open, and I think it's so cool that at the age of 45, Venus Williams is still going and playing tournaments when she wants to and is able to. What did you make of her teaming up with Leila Annie Fernandez, fellow Canadian, and how that partnership played out for the two of them?
Yeah, that was awesome. I think, Layla is such an amazing just tennis player in general, singles, doubles, obviously having played with her, and she just gives an energy that's really awesome. And I think Venus probably saw that in her and was like, well, I would like love to play with. I don't know how that partnership came about, but I did think it was really cool. Um, and it ended up being kind of perfect. Like they really complemented each other. They won what, 2 or 3 really good matches, which no one well, not no one, I mean, I knew they were gonna be really good, but people weren't expecting them to do that well, um, and I think it's cool, obviously, Layla's probably learned a lot from Venus, and in return, I'm sure Venus learned a little bit from Layla, um, and for Venus to be still out there playing is awesome. I think, everyone has their opinions and judgments about that, but she looks really happy, so that's all that matters.
Legend of the sport. I think the more opportunity to see someone like that, how can you not love
Yeah.
it? And we're looking forward to having Layla on later this fall to kind of ask her a bit about, like you said, how did that partnership come up? And
Yeah.
it must just be so validating for a young player to have someone like Venus say, "Hey, I want to play with you." And especially like Venus for all those years, it was pretty much her and Serena all the time. So for
Yeah.
her to play with it was weird seeing a Williams sister with someone else on the same side of the court as them.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any part of Serena that would maybe consider coming back out to play a little doubles with Venus, even though she's been retired for a couple years. You got any thoughts on that possibility?
Oh, wow. That would be pretty cool. I think, yeah, anything's possible. They're so talented. They're 2 of the greatest of all time, so I think people would love it, and I think it would be really cool. It would put some eyes on doubles, so I'm all for that. That'd be
Absolutely.
awesome.
Now, look, you got lots of years to go, but you think there's any chance of you playing when you're still 45, or what kind of career arc or path do you see things taking for you?
I don't think so. Um, yeah, I think yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm taking it day by day, year by year kind of thing. Right now I'm really happy. I do think that tennis is a very, you gotta be all in or all out kind of sport if you wanna be the best of the best, and so right now I'm pretty focused on, just getting better in the process and, what my journey looks like and how it's changing and how I'm learning and growing, so yeah, kinda just I honestly don't really think I'm lucky in the sense that I'm not like a huge planner. I don't I think of the future, but I don't think of it in like it doesn't give me anxiety or anything like that. I think of it more in like a positive way, and kinda whatever happens, happens. But yeah, no, I would be surprised if I was playing at 45.
Well, hey, it's just great to see you at present time loving it so much and having so much success. So I don't put too much pressure on you to look too far down the road. But what's next for you and Gabby in terms of just immediate sort of tournaments and the plan and the schedule for this fall leading up to the WTA finals, where you and her will be heading in as defending champs, which is really cool.
Yeah, we're excited. We got a little bit of time off. I like took 7 or 8 days off. Did a little bit of working out, but not much. So that was really needed. Now we're going to Beijing. So in a week or less than a week, we're gonna go to Beijing. We'll play there together. Gabby has one of her best friend's weddings during Wuhan, so I will play with somebody I don't know who.
I'm sure you got lots of
So
offers out there.
comes out and someone's looking for a partner, please hit me up.
You're gonna get a bunch of requests.
And then the week after that, we're not sure. We might play again together. Not sure it's Ningbo or Osaka. We'll see. Depends. I think how Beijing goes, how we're feeling. Kind of gonna take that one day by day. And then the week of Tokyo, Gabby will play with somebody else because one of my best friends is getting married. So
Gotcha.
we have some social events we got to do, and then we'll meet in Riyadh. And yeah, we're excited. It was an amazing experience last year. Hard to top, but we'll do our best.
Yeah, last year just so special as well, I would imagine, and we've spoken about this just based on everything that Gabby went through and that you guys as a partnership obviously had to go through together in being such a supportive partner like you are. It was fantastic to see the season end that way for you guys, so all the best through what's left and that tournament, of course, too. Did you and Gabby get a chance to celebrate the US Open win at all? Like, that match was early in the day, I think. Was it like a noon or a 12:30 start? So you
Yeah.
probably had that whole night, I'm assuming, to kind of enjoy the moment?
Yeah, it was a 12 p.m. start. So we were done at like what, 1:30, 1:45. Um, like I said before, we had all our family or a lot of family and friends there, and they had like the Moet Chandon like champagne tent, which is really cool. So everyone was drinking, partying, celebrating, and then it turned into a dinner. We went to this like rooftop place, and my friend set up this like rooftop dinner reservation. So it was perfect. It was like a set menu. So we had a blast there, and yeah, we were out late. It was exciting because I think 2 years ago, it was kind of a later match, and we just went to dinner and then, like, got cookies and went to bed. We were so tired, but it was, like, such an early match that I did say, like, win or lose this year, I wanted to celebrate, and Gabby was in for that, so we set it up, and it was pretty perfect, honestly. It was a really, really fun night.
Well, that's great. I was hoping you were able to properly do it because sometimes the matches end so late and depending on
Yeah.
where doubles is placed and everything, and then, you gotta pack up and get ready for the next thing or you're exhausted. So, that's fun. It's rare, I feel like, that a tennis player actually gets a moment to properly celebrate their success. Well, we're so
Yeah.
happy for you, Erin. Thank you for coming back on the podcast. It's rare that we have the same guest on like more than once in a season. So obviously, it's a testament to the fact that we really friggin' like having you here, but also that you're doing great things. So keep it going and all the best over in the Asian swing here.
Thanks so much. I can't wait to be back again.
2026, early 2026.
Thank you guys so much for watching us at Matchpoint Canada. If you like our work, follow along, hit the subscribe button below.